Coming up, running nose, itchy eyes. If you are feeling itchy and sneezy with the warmer weather, you're not alone. What you need to know about seasonal allergies and so much more. Then, a buzzworthy story. We take a closer look at bees and the important role these insects play in our ecosystem. Plus, very cute. We're in Texas meeting Cinnamon and Raisin, the newest members of the Fort Worth Zoo. And Collars for a Cause. This Rhode Island teen has raised thousands of dollars for her local animal shelter through two of her passions, sewing and dogs.
At first, I was just making them for my family members, and I think I started selling them around 2021. $2,500 I've donated so far. It just makes me feel really happy that I'm able to help.
Her inspiring story just ahead.
This is NBC Nightly News, Kids Edition.
Welcome back to Nightly News Kids Edition. I'm Ellison Barber filling in for Lester, who is on assignment this week. Hope you all are doing well. We have a terrific lineup ahead, including a look at the fantastic meteor shower that just lit up the sky. Plus, these adorable snow leopard cubs are about to mark a milestone, and we'll introduce you to this grandmother who is giving us all a reason to smile. But first, let's begin on the health front. May is National Asthma and Allergy Awareness Month. Here to help explain just what allergies are is our good pal, Dr. John Torres.
Hi, my name's Kennedy, and I live in New Jersey. Can you tell me what allergies are?
That's a great question. Allergies are a response from your immune system when something it doesn't like enters your body. Things that can cause allergies are known as allergens.
There's millions of people in the United States that have allergies. And so each of us can really be allergic to different things and have different ways that they make us feel.
Some grown-ups and kids are allergic to certain foods. Common food allergens are peanuts, milk, or fish. There are also indoor allergens like dust, cats, and dogs, and outdoor allergens including trees, grass, or weeds. Spring is a popular time for outdoor allergies to emerge because plants, trees, and grass are all growing, releasing pollen into the air. But you may also hear them referred to as seasonal allergies. Allergens can get into your body through your mouth, nose, eyes, and skin. When your body does come into contact with an allergen, it will create antibodies to fight it, similar to how it does with a virus. Remember, antibodies? Those are our body's own special army to fight invaders. This is why so many symptoms of spring allergies overlap with symptoms of a cold or even the coronavirus. So you might get sniffles, sneezes, a headache, or even feel tired.
So when we have allergies, our body actually mistakes those things for being invaders. It's really our body just being on overdrive, thinking that it's something trying to get in.
The good news, kids, allergies are treatable. Many indoor and outdoor allergies can be treated with medicines from the drugstore. But people with severe allergies or food allergies may need to carry around an EpiPen, which is an emergency medicine they can take if they come into contact with one of their allergens.
Some people, their allergies will be very obvious. So every time they go to their friend's house with a cat and they just sneeze and sneeze and sneeze, that's going to be a cat allergy. But others people's aren't as obvious. And so if you're worried or concerned and you're just stuffy, sneezing, you have itchy eyes a lot, you can go see your doctor and they can better evaluate.
How do you know if it's allergies or a virus such as the common cold or COVID-19? Fevers, chills, and body aches are usually symptoms of viruses like COVID-19, while allergies can cause watery eyes and itchiness. Allergy season is longer and stronger than before because of all the climate changes that we're going through. That means that some of you that have never had allergies before might end up noticing watery, itchy eyes, you're sneezing, and you have a runny nose. So this year, when you come back in from playing outside, make sure that you wash off your face, you change your clothes, and maybe even rinse your hair to get rid of all that pollen.
Thanks so much, Dr. John. Now to a buzzy topic, bees. Did you know bees are the backbone of our ecosystem, and they do a whole lot more than just making honey? Our friend Dana Griffin has this story.
You might find these buzzing little insects intimidating.
All right, let's get suited up. Let's go see some bees.
But believe it or not, bees are very important to our ecosystem.
And bees are not just honey. Bees are responsible for a third of our food.
Trevor Towser's bees help pollinate this almond orchard near Sacramento. You see, millions of hives are moved annually across the country so honeybees can pollinate the crops that feed our nation. That's about 80% of all flowering plants, including 130 different types of fruit, vegetables, and nuts. So what is pollination? It's an essential part of plant reproduction. When a pollinator, like a bee or butterfly, visits a flower covered in pollen, it flies to another flower. Some of that pollen falls off and helps it make seeds to grow new flowers. Are there other types of pollinators? Why, yes. Moths, beetles, hummingbirds, bats, and lizards are too. But bees are in trouble in North America at an elevated risk of extinction, according to scientists. And a nationwide survey reveals catastrophic honeybee deaths. More than 1 million commercial colonies were lost in just 9 months.
What is a life without honeybees?
It's a sad life, I would say, for humans. If you'd like to eat really good food, nutritious food, colorful foods, it would be a sad life because most of that would be removed.
Habitat loss and climate change are partly to blame. Another culprit, bee thieves. Some of Trevor's bees have been stolen.
Feels violating. You put all of your effort into keeping the bees healthy, and then somebody picks up and disappears with them. It's devastating.
Why are people stealing hives?
Hive theft revolves around almond pollination.
We rode along with Deputy Rowdy Freeman, who was on a California crime prevention task force working to stop those sticky fingers. These are hundreds of stolen hives his team has uncovered.
I often describe it as a perfect crime because it's beekeepers stealing from other beekeepers.
Most thefts happen at night, so beekeepers are getting creative, hiding tracking devices deep in the hives.
Bee thefts in California skyrocketing 87% since 2013, with 10,000 stolen hives valued at over $3.5 million. But kids, experts say there is something you can do at home to help pollinators access clean forage.
If you have a backyard, we have great resources at UC Davis where you can look up what plants you could plant to support the pollinators. If the bees do have access to plentiful forage, plentiful flowers, they can deal with a lot of the other negative factors that they have to be exposed to.
So the next time you see one of those pesky bees, remember, behave. They've got an important job to do.
Thanks so much, Dana. I learned a lot. In other news this week, it was one of the most stunning displays up in the sky, the Eta Aquarids meteor shower. This shower peaked before dawn on May 6th and brought spectacular shooting stars that lit up the sky. The Eta Aquarid shower is best spotted from the southern hemisphere, where it's considered one of the most prolific showers of the year. So cool. All right, time for our News Smarts quiz to see how closely you've been following the news this week. We're taking a look at the conclave, which is the process of electing the next pope in the Catholic Church. This week's question: the late Pope Francis was the first pope elected from which continent? A, North America, B, South America, or C, Asia? I'll give you a moment to think about it. Okay, time's up. The answer is B, South America. We'll be watching closely to see where the next pope hails from. Now we're headed to Texas for our picture of the week. Say hello to Cinnamon and Raisin, the newest additions to the Fort Worth Zoo. These one-year-old American black bear siblings were found in Montana, sadly without their mom. They found a new loving home at the zoo, where zookeepers say they have wasted no time climbing, swimming, and exploring their new habitat. Cinnamon is the braver and sassier sister, sporting an auburn coat, while her brother Raisin has the classic black bear fur. Too cute. And speaking of bears, it's time for our pop quiz. The question this week: true or false? Black bears are thought to have the best sense of smell of any animal on Earth. I'll give you a few seconds to think about that one. Okay, time is up. The answer is true. Black bears are believed by scientists to have the strongest sense of smell in the animal kingdom. Even bloodhounds, those dogs famously known for their sense of smell, don't smell as well as black bears, whose sense of smell is about 7 times more powerful than a bloodhound. A great reminder when outdoors to keep your eyes and noses peeled in areas frequented by bears, as you never know what might be smelling you. And in other animal news, we're celebrating an exciting first birthday soon. Phyllis, Lenny, and Raya are the 3 snow leopard cubs born at Woodland Park Zoo last Memorial Day. They continue to grow, enjoying playful games and wrestling matches. Mom Mirai taught them to leap, climb, tackle, and most importantly, how to eat. Snow leopards are most active in the morning. And did you know they can't roar, but they can purr, hiss, and growl? Snow leopards are considered vulnerable due to habitat loss and poaching, marking an important milestone for these cubs and the snow leopard population. Turning now to our Inspiring Kids series. One Rhode Island teen is using her creativity to raise money for a local animal shelter. Our friend Sam Reed has the story.
For 14-year-old Senna Clark of North Kingstown, her pups Maisie and Finley are her best four-legged friends.
Good boy.
After school and on weekends when she's not with them, the 8th grader is upstairs.
It's sort of like a routine for me making them, so it's very calming now.
In a room designated for her hobby.
I started sewing when I was about 7 years old, I think.
Of creating dog collars.
I started making dog collars when I was 9 or 10.
A class at the sew-op in Wickford had her hooked. Her first project, a collar for her own dogs, which then adjusted to several more.
At first, I was just making them for my family members, and they weren't very good. And then I started making them better and better, and I think I started selling them around 2021.
Having gotten the hang of things for the last 4 years, she's perfected her craft.
I have all holiday ones, all different colors. I can, on a few occasions, I've done custom stuff.
So much so, she's made and sold over 500 and counting, calling her efforts Senna's Collars for a cause.
It's a lot more than I thought I would have sold by now.
The $20 collars are sold to family, friends, and to customers online. But instead of keeping her rightfully earned money, she donates it to the North Kingstown Animal Shelter to help dogs waiting to find their forever homes.
$2,500 I've donated so far.
And you didn't keep that money for yourself. Why not?
Because I wanted to help the animals.
In fact, her eagerness to help animals has spread to downtown Wickford.
I love her cause. I love her designs. My customers love them. Everything about her and her collars just touches my heart.
A while back, Senna approached the owner of the Yes Gallery, which features local artists, asking if she'd sell her collars for a cause.
The fact that she was such a young girl and so talented, it just blew my mind. So I was happy to sell her collars.
The reaction?
People love them.
And sales have meant so much. And just last month, Senna officially became a nonprofit with a goal to hopefully help even more dogs in the future.
It just makes me feel really happy that I'm able to help.
Sam, thanks so much. Well, this weekend is Mother's Day, and in honor of all the moms and grandmothers out there, our friend Al Roker introduces us to one grandmother who is stealing the show thanks to her dancing moves.
You recently turned 102.
You're right.
What does 102 feel?
Old.
Shirley Goodman, known as the Dancing Nana from Sarasota, Florida, became an internet sensation 6 years ago. Her tush-push line dance at a wedding going viral.
100 million views.
I didn't even know what Instagram was. I still don't, really.
Dance has been a lifelong passion for Shirley, first learning how to tap during the Depression.
My dad taught me how to dance when I was 8 years old. He was a vaudevillian, played the banjo, and he tap danced. And then when I got out of high school, I opened my own dancing school.
You've turned to tap during tough times. Your husband, your beloved Alfie, was in World War II, was a prisoner of war.
Yes, he was shot down over Germany.
What kept you going?
The fact that I could be home and dance. That's all I can attribute it to.
At 102, Shirley Goodman's golden years have become quite remarkable, overcoming 2 heart surgeries, but still got those moves.
Up until 90, you were playing tennis.
Yes.
That's pretty incredible.
And I'm still moving.
What do you attribute your longevity to?
The tap dancing, of course, positive attitude, and chocolate.
Chocolate?
Milk chocolate.
Al, thanks so much. Finally, in this week's Kids Spotlight, we're taking a look at a topic that plenty of kids know and love, the world of animation. NBC producer Neil O'Brien is the author of the new book, After Disney, which tells the lesser-known story of the animation department at Walt Disney Productions. What's more, Neil's son Henry stepped in as a kid correspondent for this one. Here's Henry with the story.
I've always loved animation, but my dad Neil has had a special bond with it. That's him. He studied the craft for a long time and has now written a new book about it. Why did you write this book?
I wanted to tell a story about how animation became as popular as it is today. 9 out of the top 10 movies that people streamed last year at home were animated movies made by companies like Disney and DreamWorks and Pixar, and all those companies trace their origin to the time period I wrote about.
Animation creates the illusion of movement by rapidly displaying a series of still images. It's used in everything from your favorite movies to TV shows and video games. Who are some of the people you met while writing this book?
I met a lot of animators and artists and filmmakers while writing this book, which was really cool. One of the people I met is an animator, John Pomeroy, and he got his start at Disney many years ago, but he still animates to this day.
John's work has appeared in popular movies like Pocahontas, Space Jam: A New Legacy, and Atlantis: The Lost Empire. I was lucky enough to talk to him. What are some of the favorite characters that you animated from those movies?
I would say Milo. Milo Thatch, interesting character, very scientific. He's an explorer. I think that my personality and that character meshed very well with the recorded voice actor who was Michael J. Fox. It all came together and we were able to create a very solid personality.
What makes animation so special?
The process is you're bringing something to life that didn't exist before. So you're basically creating a personality that the audience can identify with. And once they do that, you take them on a wonderful adventure.
An adventure in animation, becoming a true family affair for us O'Briens. What have you enjoyed about writing this book?
I've gotten to talk to a lot of interesting filmmakers and artists for the book. I've also gotten to travel with you sometimes for the book on research trips. It's taken 17 years, so I started this even before you were born, and now it's finally out, and I'm glad that you're here to enjoy it with me.
Thanks so much, Henry. Great to have you on. And thanks to Neil O'Brien, a longtime producer for NBC News, for educating us about the world of animation. And before we say so long, we just want to note that this week is Teacher Appreciation Week. So we wanted to give a shout out to all the teachers out there working tirelessly to educate and support students of all ages. Thank you for your service. Well, that's going to do it for us. Parents, just a reminder, if your child has a question about any topic in the news, email a video to us at nightlynewskids@nbcuni.com. And we'll try to answer them in an upcoming episode. You can also follow us on Instagram at Nightly Kids. Thanks for watching. And as Lester likes to say, take care of yourself and each other. So long.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.